Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. On December 4th, it's the next UFC fight card, and there's a few great fights on the card, but one of them being Jimmy Crute versus Jamahal Hill, and this is going to be my full breakdown and prediction for that fight. I'm not sure exactly where this is going to be on the card because the UFC last minute sometimes changes up the bout order all the time, but either way, I thought this fight was worthy enough to get a prediction video. So you look at the tail of the tape, Jimmy Crute is currently ranked number 13. Jamahal Hill is currently ranked number 14 in the UFC official rankings. Jimmy Crute is 25 years old while Hill is 30 years old. Crute is 6'2", Hill is 6'4", and Crute has a 74-inch reach while Hill has a 79-inch reach. So a 5-inch reach advantage for Hill and a 2-inch height advantage for Hill as well. So you look at Jimmy Crute, and he's coming in off the biggest test of his career. He's on a one-fight losing streak. He fought Anthony Smith at UFC 261 back in April of this year. And, this fight was kind of bizarre because it was like a 50-50 fight. It was going back and forth. I actually picked Anthony Smith in this fight. Both guys were trading shots. They both had their moments. Anthony Smith was pumping out a stiff jab, just snapping Jimmy Crute's head back. And eventually, Anthony Smith lands a perfectly placed leg kick, hits that perennial nerve on Jimmy Crute's leg. His leg goes numb. He falls down. Luckily, it was like a minute and a half left in the first round. And after Jimmy Crute fell down, Anthony Smith got a little bit over aggressive. Jimmy Crute was able to get him down and hold him down for the rest of the round and eventually make his way to his corner. Well, while he was in the corner, the doctor, after they iced him up and right as the next round was about to begin, the doctor started to check him out because he had that leg issue. And Jimmy Crute, it looked like the doctor might let him go back in. Jimmy Crute wanted to go back in. He stepped a little bit off balance. He rolled his ankle again, and the doctor waved it off. We've seen this happen in many fights. It happened to Sean O'Malley where he was stretchered out. It happened to Henry Cejudo in the Demetrius Johnson fight. It happened to Michael Chandler back in the day. I can't remember who it happened against. Brent Primus, I think it was, but not 100% sure. They just hit that nerve right behind the knee, and like the whole leg goes numb. And it's really not a serious injury, but what can end up happening is they can end up rolling their ankle, breaking their ankle, spraining their ankle just because they can't walk right, or breaking their toes. You'll see a lot of the times they'll just bend their toes into the mat. So we really didn't get a definitive answer who was the better fighter that night. I mean, Anthony Smith was having success in there, but so was Jimmy Crute. And Jimmy Crute is super tough, even though he was kind of, stung a couple times in that fight by Anthony Smith. I personally would have liked to see it play out a little bit more just because of what we saw already. Jimmy Crute was having success just slamming the leg kicks. Anthony Smith was having success with the hands. But, it is what it is. We don't live in a perfect world. Before that, he got a win over Modestas Bukauskas by KO. Not that great of a win. He's no longer with the UFC. Back in September of 2019, he has a loss to Misha Cirkunov. I don't know, that hasn't aged very well. He lost via submission. He has a win over Sam Alvey, but what does that really mean? And he has a win over Paul Craig, which is a decent win, but that was all the way back in 2018. And Paul Craig is actually an opponent that him and Jamahal Hill have in common, because in Jamahal Hill's last fight, he fought Paul Craig. That was at UFC 263 in June of this year. And both these guys were in strange last fights because Paul Craig, we thought, and I'm not 100% sure on this, but a lot of people thought that Jamahal Hill broke his arm in this fight, but I believe it was a dislocated elbow. Paul Craig had one of the nastiest armbar triangles I've ever seen. The referee refused to stop it. Jamahal Hill's arm was just flopping around all over the place. Paul Craig was looking at the ref like he had no idea what to do. He just started dropping down like ground and pound from his back while he had Jamahal Hill in the triangle position. Fight didn't last very long. I think it was like 3 or 4 minutes into the first round, so it ended in the first round. It was a dominant win from Paul Craig. He broke his arm, and then he also finished him via TKO. I thought that Jamahal Hill tried to tap at one point, but it was hard to tell just because his arm was going limp, and then his hand was moving around very strange. So that's the opponent they had in common. Jimmy Crute gets a submission over Paul Craig back in 2018, and Jamahal Hill gets TKO'd / submission from Paul Craig in 2021. So before that, he has a TKO win over Oven St. Preux. That's a decent win. But again, I'm not super high on OSP. I know a lot of people say, oh, well, he took John Jones to a decision. OSP's never been that great. And, he got finished in that fight. Other than that, I mean, there's not very many great names on his resume. He has that spectacular finish over Kidson Abreu, I believe is how you pronounce it. That got overturned because he tested positive for marijuana, which is ridiculous in my opinion. It was that step-in knee he likes to use, hurt him to the body, then finished him with ground and pound. But overall, I mean, he has 4 fights in the UFC. There's not much, to really look at Jamahal Hill's resume and say, oh, he's fought great guys. The best guy he's fought is Paul Craig, and he has a loss to him. Both these guys, whether it be Jamahal Hill or Jimmy Crute, are both coming off the Dana White's Contender Series. Jamahal Hill in 2019, and I think Jimmy Crute was in 2018. Yes, he was in 2018. And you really look at both guys' resumes, and Jamahal Hill has not fought elite of the elite talent. Paul Craig is even debatable in there. I think Paul Craig is currently ranked number 11, so not even top 10. Jimmy Crute's, best opponent that he fought was Anthony Smith, and he lost that fight as well. So, and he also has a loss to Misha Cirkunov. So, it's really, those aren't 2 great losses to have on your resume. So it's really hard to pick this fight. And when you start looking at their skill sets, and I talked about this a little bit on my live stream, Hill's strengths are Crute's weaknesses, and Crute's strengths are Hill's weaknesses. And that's a very weird thing to say, but that's why I love this matchup so much. If you look at the Darko Stolik matchup for Jamahal Hill, he won the fight by decision. He looked great. His stamina looked good. Combinations looked good. But he kept getting taken down. Now, he was getting back up, but he just kept getting taken down. Jimmy Crute, that's the main way he likes to win fights, is take guys down and beat them up. He just, that's just the way he likes to win fights. That's, he did a lot of that to Modestas Bukalkas, I believe. And he just likes to take guys down, beat them up on the ground, try to submit them or TKO them on the ground. Took Paul Craig down and submitted him. He has some decent submissions on his resume. Not, he's not a Damian Maia by any means. But you look at Jimmy Crute's weaknesses, and, Anthony Smith was jabbing his face off. And Jamahal Hill has a lightning fast jab, and he has a straight right. And this is going to be a weird comparison, but Jamahal Hill almost fights a little bit like Nate Diaz. He's very heavy on the lead leg, and he loves to throw the jab followed by the straight right. Now, it's a little bit different. Nate Diaz likes to throw the jab, and then he's obviously left-handed, so he throws the straight left. But it's very similar, and it's not this 100% take your head off power. It's like a 75% power, and he just pieces guys up. Now, both these guys have great leg kicks. Both guys have great chins. Jamahal Hill was absolutely lit up multiple times in that Darko Stolik matchup, or Stolstik. I don't know how to pronounce his name. He was lit up a couple times because he keeps that lead hand very, very low. He got clipped on the chin. And that's why I see this fight being very close, because on the feet, I give Jamahal Hill the advantage, but on the ground, I give Jimmy Crute the advantage. So my official prediction for this fight, and I think it's, it's a close fight just because of everything I named, the weaknesses of Jamahal Hill and the strengths of Jamahal Hill versus the same thing for Jimmy Crute. I'm going to go with Jimmy Crute via second round submission. I just think Jimmy Crute is too durable. I don't think that Jamahal Hill is going to put him out. He doesn't have this crazy one-punch KO power. And I think Jimmy Crute, while Jamahal Hill's very heavy on that lead leg, Jimmy Crute is just going to be smashing that lead leg. We've seen Hill be susceptible to that before. And Jimmy Crute was smashing Anthony Smith's leg in that fight before he got hit on that nerve and the whole fight changed. So I really see Jamahal Hill's going to be heavy on that lead leg, looking to land some of the striking, looking to pump the jab and throw the straight right. And I think Jimmy Crute's going to smash that leg in. I think Jimmy Crute's going to get pieced up, without a doubt. Anthony Smith pieced him up. I think Jamahal Hill's a good enough striker. He'll be able to find Jimmy Crute's chin, bust up his nose a little bit, bust up his eyes a little bit. But I just don't think it's going to be enough to put him out. Jimmy Crute is super durable. I think he's going to smash the legs, and I think he's going to look for takedowns. And Jamahal Hill's takedown defense is terrible. He's easily taken down. Paul Craig took him down with ease. I think it was Darko that took him down multiple times within the fight. And these aren't even as good of wrestlers as I believe that Jimmy Crute is. So I really think that in this fight, Jimmy Crute's going to be able to take him down. The first round's going to be competitive. Hill's going to, use his movement. He has great movement, great footwork. But I just don't think that it's going to be enough. As he starts to slow down a little bit, even though he has good stamina, as he starts to slow down a little bit, Jimmy Crute starts chopping those legs early. I think eventually Jimmy Crute's going to get a takedown, maybe second half of the first round, hold him down, ground and pound him a little bit, Second round, I think Jimmy Crute's going to get him down relatively quickly and eventually work his way to a submission. And, you know, Jamahal Hill, even though his striking is very good, he leaves his chin straight up in the air. He has no head movement. And realistically, I could even see a scenario where Jamahal Hill is worried about the takedowns of Jimmy Crute and gets clipped up by Jimmy Crute on the feet, because Jimmy Crute will just bum rush forward, throw a 3-4 piece combination, and look to knock somebody's head off. So I could even see that happening just because of the way Jamahal Hill's so confident in his striking and his speed that I feel like he neglects some of these other areas where he keeps his hands too low and his chin is just sticking straight up in the air during the fight. We've seen him caught multiple times, but he hasn't had to pay for it yet. Eventually, we know it always happens in MMA. These guys leave their chin exposed, they get hit, clipped up for multiple fights throughout their career. Then one of these days, someone just hits them on the right spot and just puts them out. And I think that both of those scenarios are possible. Meanwhile, if Jamahal Hill wins, I think he probably wins a decision, maybe just outpointing him, moving around, outpointing him. But I really think Jimmy Crute's wrestling is going to be the factor in this fight. I think he's going to be able to get Jamahal Hill down with ease and eventually find the submission in the second round. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Who are you picking in this fight? If you guys enjoy these prediction videos, do not forget to like the video. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.